Hi, and welcome to the 6th District Council Comment. I'm Angela Evans, your 6th District Council member, and today I have Charlie Lanter, the Director of our Office of Homelessness Prevention and Intervention Office, and Rick McQuady, who is our Affordable Housing Manager. And they're going to talk to us about the programs that they're doing in their office and how we can help the homeless community in our city.
I'm Charlie Lanter, and I'm the Director of the Office of Homelessness Prevention and Intervention. So my job is to help coordinate all of the homeless services in Lexington, including our homeless shelters, our permanent housing programs, all of the emergency response, as well as our transition to help people get out of an emergency shelter and into more permanent housing. Another thing I do is work individually with people sometimes when they're on the street, help connect them to the right resource. In our office, we don't actually provide services, but we know where they all are. And so we help connect people who may need help getting to a shelter or a particular program, just help them navigate that and find the right place to be. The other important thing that we do is we monitor the situation on the street. We need to know who's homeless, how many people are homeless, why they're homeless, and then more importantly, what can we do to help with that? Do we have the right programs right now? Do we not have the right programs? Do we need to adjust what we're funding as a city? Often I work with other organizations and nonprofits to either create new programming or adjust the programming because maybe there's a population that's falling through the cracks. So right now, for example, we're working with veterans, and we're working really hard to try and end veterans' homelessness in Lexington. We've gotten really far. We've made a lot of progress. The number of homeless veterans in Lexington has decreased down to probably between 30 and 40 on average, and all of them are in shelter. Unless something changes night to night, which it can, we really don't have very many veterans on the street right now. Last count, we actually only found one. So we're making a lot of progress. We're really trying to get our veterans out of shelter and into permanent housing opportunities so that they can live on their own and be more self-sufficient. And then next, we're moving to families. So we're going to work with families who are experiencing homelessness, two-parent families, mom and dad and the kids who are maybe facing eviction or who have moved here from another community for a job and it didn't work out. We run into lots of different stories. And we also have a challenge helping people who have medical needs, people who are ready to discharge from the hospital, but they were homeless when they went in. So they're coming out of the hospital and they have medical challenges that require them to have nursing care or some additional level of help that normally you or I might get from our family member. They don't have that, and they also don't have anywhere to go. Our homeless shelters aren't really equipped to deal with that, and so we're working on trying to set up a medical respite program so that they have a place to go and really fully recover before they go back into just regular life. And then hopefully during that time while they're recovering, we're able to find them some housing. It's important for people to know that Lexington has an incredible network of homeless shelters and programs that provide opportunity for housing for those people, whether it's emergency housing that gets them into a shelter, or maybe long-term transitional housing if they have challenges that are mental health related or substance abuse related. We really have a phenomenal network of opportunities for folks. We also have plenty of places that serve free meals. They can get free lunch at the Hope Center, at Lighthouse Ministries on Elm Tree Lane downtown. Any number of organizations, the Salvation Army for their folks provides meals. They get lunch, they get dinner. We're expanding that. We're going to soon be offering 7 nights a week at Lighthouse dinner in a program called Dining with Dignity. I say all of that because it's important to know that the folks who are asking you for money, 99% of the time, they know that. They know where to find the housing and they know where to find the food because we have really good outreach in Lexington. What they are typically asking for is money to support things that they can't get through our service delivery network. So cigarettes, alcohol, and other substances that they may be addicted to. There are a lot of myths and stereotypes surrounding homelessness. Many of them are not true. Unfortunately, one of those that is largely accurate is that people who are panhandling are using those funds to support their habits. So we encourage folks to not give to individuals on the street. We encourage people, if you want to help, get involved with a local organization, one of the many organizations that is housing those folks, that is feeding them. they'd love to have you to serve meals, or they'd love to have your donation. And that helps the people really get stable and really move on and get off the street, as opposed to if you hand someone $1 on the street corner, in some ways you're keeping them on the street because you're fueling the addiction that got them there in the first place. So if someone needs assistance and someone is working with an individual or a family, you know someone, maybe it's a friend, neighbor, or a relative who's experiencing homelessness now, or who's at risk of homelessness because they are facing eviction or just can't afford their bills, it's important to get them to some help as quickly as possible, especially if it's a situation where they may experience homelessness in the near future, because the sooner we can intervene, the more likely we are to be successful in helping them. So it's really important, have them call 211, that's a United Way program. If they call United Way 211, that's an excellent resource and referral service. They have a comprehensive list of the services that are available. The person who takes the call will walk that person through, what's the situation, the specifics of their family and their situation, and try to use that information to connect them to the right organization or the right place. For more information about how to get involved just with homelessness in general in Lexington, folks are welcome to call my office, the Office of Homelessness, at 258-3105. That's 258-3105. We also have a social media page on Facebook of Homelessness Prevention and Intervention, and we're on Twitter as at LexKYHomeless. So if you want to follow our work or sign up for our newsletter, visit any of those pages, or our page within the city's website, lexingtonky.gov/homelessness. All of these are great ways to get involved. If you want to get involved, we've got committees that design programs and really look at it if you're interested in the administrative level. If you want to get involved hands-on and serve meals or work in a shelter, we can connect you to those kinds of organizations. But for people who actually need the help, who need immediate assistance, 211 is the best starting point. We really encourage folks to call 211 and try to go from there.
My name is Rick McQuady. I'm the Affordable Housing Manager for the City of Lexington. It's my responsibility to find ways and find resources to provide quality, affordable housing for Lexington residents. This apartment consists of 180 units, Parkway Plaza. It's right out here off Paris Pike. It will soon be in the process of being renovated. 180 affordable units. Our Affordable Housing Fund provided them with a pre-development loan. That pre-development loan allows them to pay for things like architectural fees, legal fees, all the fees that go into what is a very complicated financial transaction in order to be able to put all the resources together to rehab this facility. They anticipate start construction in May of 2016 and hopefully be finished a year and a half later. It will still be 180 units, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments that will remain affordable for the residents of Lexington. The Affordable Housing Fund is funded from an allocation from the city through the City Council. They allocated $3 million in fiscal year 2015, another $2 million in fiscal 2016. Those resources are used to not only provide for and create new affordable housing units, but also to preserve the affordable housing units we already have here in Lexington. In Lexington, we have several properties that are between 15 and 20 years old. Like this one, actually this one's even older, this one's almost 30 years old. And they're in need of rehab, in need of new amenities, and in need of just new things that continue to provide families at or below 80% of area median income with a quality place to live here in Lexington. We've funded 7 projects so far. We've allocated $2 million to those projects. Some of them are in the form of what I call amortizing loans, some are in the form of grants. One thing the City Council asked me or required of us is that we also serve families at very low incomes. Those that I will say are at 50% of area median income or even below 30% of area median income. For those families, it's very difficult to structure a program with loans. Therefore, we have provided grants to assist those properties that serve that population group. The goals of this fund, really I have 2 goals. One group is program goals. My program goals are to provide quality, affordable housing for Lexington residents who earn at or below 80% of area median income. And let me explain what that means. For a family of 4, the area median income here in Lexington is somewhere around $60,000. So for a family of 4, I'm trying to provide affordable housing for families whose income is at or below approximately $48,000 a year. In addition to creating new affordable housing units and providing the resources to fund those, it's also important and a goal of mine to preserve what we already have. To preserve those units, because if we start losing affordable housing units because they need additional rehab, then we'll never catch up with the need that's in Lexington. My financial goals for this fund are to not only loan as much of the money as I can so that the city is able to recycle these resources, but also to leverage the money. For every dollar that I put into a transaction or that the city puts into a transaction, I'm seeking another $6 from other sources so that we can bring other resources to Lexington to meet this need that's out there. If anyone is interested in this, in the development of affordable housing, they can certainly get a hold of me at my office at 258-3192. And my office is in the Phoenix building on the first floor.
I'd like to thank Rick and Charlie for joining me today over here in the Joyland neighborhood and telling us about the great projects that are going on and how we can help the citizens, help those who are less fortunate than us. If you have any questions about the projects that Charlie or Rick discussed, or just have any neighborhood concerns in general, please feel free to contact Charlie or Rick. Always feel free to contact me, and I'm more than happy to help you.